Hi.
I miss you.
Miss you.
Jamie Floyd, can I sing a theme song at your face?
Sing it at me.
Okay. I miss you, and I hope you're doing well. I miss you, and hearing your music IRL. So I am thinking that you sing me a song or two, and I just sit here in my bathroom saying, hey, I miss you.
That was gorgeous.
Hi, Jamie Floyd. It sounded like early morning,
wild.
but the house is so wild. Yes, so wild. But I do miss you. It's been a very long time. I'm sitting in my big green bathroom, which is in a little suburban joint in Minnesota. I'm wondering if you could tell us all where you are right now.
Yeah, well, I am in Nashville, Tennessee, in our studio at our house. You kind of can't see, but we have a big command center right here, and guitars are everywhere. You can kind of see there's one there, there's one there, and there is our 9-month-old puppy wandering around, so you'll probably see Hippie too, but we're in the studio right now in Nashville, and that's where we're coming at you from.
Oh, we did see Hippie once already, just kind of walk behind you.
Yeah, she's in here somewhere, I'm sure, getting into trouble, so we'll hope that she behaves.
I can't wait. I can't wait for the trouble. I'm also going to ask you, how are you right now in this minute? If I snap the Polaroid, how are you?
I'm doing okay. I have a lot of upheaval and transition going on in my life, but at the same time, I have these doors opening for possibility and new music and opportunities and partnerships and all these things like I've never had before in my career. So it's kind of like the roller coaster of the music business comes with like, oh my gosh, everything's, oh God, it's happening. And it's like, the next day you get a call where a dream is coming true. So I think that's just the nature of maybe Nashville and just, being in music in general. But it's been a wild ride lately, but I'm staying really positive, and I'm a big believer that that when one door closes, 17 million open.
I love that.
In touch enough to see them, you know what I mean? And grateful enough to see them coming. So.
Yeah. I mean, as someone who gets to watch you mostly on socials, I feel like I see you live that. I see you embody that in the way you share things. And I think that's a really beautiful way to see it all. I'm wondering if you'll sing us a song and tell us why you chose the song you are going to sing.
Okay, so I have a bunch of new music that I am currently writing and getting ready to record. I am writing my favorite songs of my career right now. I think when you go through a lot of craziness and upheaval, for me, I turn into like a fountain. I'm like, I gotta get it out somehow, and I use my songs are my greatest therapist. So, so I want to play you one of the songs I just recently wrote. I just feel like I'm on a little bit of a roll, and this is one of the songs that came in that role and one that I'll be releasing. I'm just really excited to start to put it out there. I sang it for the first time the other night in one of my shows, and like the crowd like applauded in the middle of it, like stuff that you're like, I'm so nervous to play my new song, and then they're like, ah! And so I hope that when we release it, same kind of reception. So
yes, please. Oh my gosh, Jamie Floyd. Okay, I'm doing my special button pressing. Watch.
Okay, button pressing. And I'll make sure I'm ready here too.
You're good.
This is called "Play Me." I wrote it with my friend Drew Ramsey. Rip out the pages one by one. Tell me I'm pretty, tell me we're done. Light it up quick, blow out the match, and burn it all down behind my back. Line your tongue, kiss on your lips. Wheels in the dirt, ready to step down, ready to cut out any minute. Play me like a There's a time bomb ticking inside my chest. It's gonna blow up, it just hasn't yet. So don't come any closer. I'm gonna hate when it's over. Play me like the records you love. Like a needle dragging through the dust. I think I can take it, but before you break it, turn it up. Play me like the records you love. Round and round and round and round. Play me like the records you. Play me like the records you love. Like a needle dragging through the dust. I think I can take it before you break it. You know I'm your favorite, so turn it up. Play me like the records you love.
Jamie Floyd. Oh my goodness.
Thank you.
So good.
Brand new.
Oh, thank you for sharing brand new. I
Yeah.
was like just geeking out, even as you were talking, because when you say like the songs of your career, I was like, you already have the best songs. How can they get better?
Oh, thanks for saying that.
Oh, everybody, this is Jamie Floyd, and she's on my show, Hey, I Miss You. My name is Sarah Morris. Sarah Morris, coming at you with a show that I invented, Jamie. So prior to the pandemic, I used to have people come and sing in this bathroom if they were in town. Here's a kitty or a puppy. And we would do something called Toilet Tunes. Hello, puppy. And it was, we'd sing cover songs and share it with the universe. And it was so much fun. And then, even though it's a big bathroom, it's not big enough for COVID, like, right? So I was like, well, I really miss collaborating with people, and I miss, at the time we were live streaming all the time, and I was so sick of singing at my face in my phone, and I was like, maybe my friends are also sick of that, and maybe they'll sing at my face, and Hey, I Miss You was born. And so that is what we do here. This is the part of the show where I ask you to tell me something good. Tell me, Jamie.
Something good. Well, in like a week or so, whatever it would be, March 17th, I am playing maybe what is going to be one of my favorite shows ever that I've ever played. I'm going to be playing in Nashville at City Winery at 7 o'clock on March 17th with Rabel, who is one of my favorite pop artists and songwriters and all the things. He's going to fly here from LA. It's me and Rabel and Cam, who I'm such a huge fan of, and I've never been on stage with her before, so I can't wait to have that experience. And there's a couple more special guests they have yet to announce, and trust me, they are amazing, and I'm fully freaking out, no chill, no nothing. And so tickets are on sale now, or unless they're like sold out by the time
Right.
by the time you check the site. But I think it's gonna be a really great night. And so City Winery, March 17th, I'm playing with like people whose music has inspired me, and that I just didn't ever think I'd get to be on stage with them all at one time, because we're gonna play in the round. So it's just like a dream scenario, and that's what's really good.
So good. And City Winery is an amazing venue, and so I will put the ticket link in the show notes.
Yeah, that's perfect. Thanks.
That's very, very good. Thank you for sharing that with us. Okay, this is the part where I say, in case you missed it, ooh. Ooh. Ooh, in case you missed it, this is Jamie Floyd. I know Jamie because once upon a time I lived in Nashville, and once upon a time Jamie and I used to have matching books like this, where we would take orders, and we would bring out little plates like this.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe you have that.
Filled with herb mix for people who wanted as much free bread as they could have. Do you know who got me this plate?
Who?
Jesse Estrada.
Of course he did. Yes, he did.
Who snuck it to me in the to-go room. He also once upon a time snuck me this picture out through a to-go container. Don't tell Carabas.
Let's not tell Carabas, but that is amazing.
So that's my story with you, but I'm wondering if you'll tell like your real story a little bit, like where you started in Florida, you're now in Nashville, a little bit of something in between.
Yeah, I'm originally from West Palm Beach, Florida, and I signed a record deal with the head of Epic Records out of New York when I was 11. We started negotiating that deal. Well, baby. And the music business got a hold of me real early, and I was in my record deal until September 11th happened. Of course, the whole world changed, and things kind of came to a halt when that happened. I was in my record deal for a little bit longer, but nobody could really release music or anything. It was like, what are we doing? We were focused on more important things than releasing albums. And so when I was 17, turning 18, I got out of my record deal and I moved to Nashville to be a singer and a songwriter. And I moved myself here. I went to Belmont for a hot second and then I dropped out. Along with many, I'm in good company there. And I started, what did I do after I dropped out? I met Sarah Morris. You met me shortly after I dropped out of college, Sarah, and I went to work at Carrabba's in Green Hills. And so Carrabba's was the way I was able to wait tables, support myself, pay my rent while I was writing songs every day and playing shows very consistently, also with Sarah Morris and our friend Corinne Chapman. And
yes. I got a picture.
Oh, there we are.
There we are. There we are.
Green on the end. And so we did that, and I was very lucky to be surrounded at Carrabba's, especially by super talented people who were very encouraging and very like-minded. And I was, super young. When you're young, you met me when I was still a teenager, Sarah. What had happened?
When I think about that, because I was telling someone, I was like, you're so humble, you're so kind. And so I didn't even really know you sang when I first met you. I think I trained you on the floor maybe, or like, I mean, I wouldn't, and we definitely bartended together. And I didn't really know even that you sang until our friend Jessie, who steals things for me, but also organized like the one time we had music at Carrabba's was for a charity event. And you got up and sang right where you needed me. And I was like, everybody hold the phone. What has been hiding behind that tie and floor length apron? And I did not know. And she's going to be world famous. And you might have been a teenager then. Oh God. But yeah, I've just ever since that day been like such a huge admirer of your work and also the way you do it. Again, you're such a humble, wonderfully kind human, and you've been working your tail off at it, like with love since that day. Well, and before then too, but.
Well, thanks, Sarah. I just I just really treasure those days. I'm moving around because of the puppy.
Yeah.
I really treasure that time because it was such a time of growth for me. So I was really just lucky to be around all of you who were just really good influences. and it was great to kind of have my start there, and have a friendship base that I still have to this day, which is really sweet. And but yeah, we were all along for the ride, and we played those shows at Carrabba's. We played shows together in town and just started writing. And I got my second publishing deal. I had a publishing deal when I was signed to the label when I was a little girl, because they sign you to everything all at the same time. But I got my second one in 2007. And so I had just left Carrabba's at that point, for another restaurant, like just bouncing around. And so I had several other publishing deals. And what ended up happening is I moved to Nashville because my first and my true love is being an artist and being a singer, And so I figured out that I also loved writing songs. And what started to happen is the songs that I was writing were opening doors for me. And so I just kind of walked through them. And I guess in 2009, I got my very first major cut on Ronnie Dunn's debut solo album. It's one of the only songs on there that he didn't write. And that was like a big indicator for me that, wow, okay, maybe, gosh, like maybe I can have a career as a songwriter and a singer, right? And so I just kept writing songs and, would get deals and would get dropped and go back to the restaurant. And then I would just go back and forth, because that's kind of what the music business does. And then at a certain point in like 2013, I decided to become my own publisher and see what would happen if I just really worked my tail off and did an experiment. And a few years later, I got my very first Grammy nomination, and I was kind of known as Grammy-nominated waitress. And I've always been a big proponent of being an entrepreneur and believing in yourself, always, but especially if you've been rejected. And so I just feel like just watching the puppy. I'm so sorry, everyone.
No.
She's very mischievous. But I'm a big proponent in believing in yourself. And so it was a big deal for me to have something like that happen, as a one-woman show kind of thing. Of course, I had amazing co-writers on the song, and my co-writers over the years have been my support system and have been my cheerleaders, and they've been my champions. And so I guess me and my co-writers just like made all that happen. And so being my own publisher has been a really beautiful experience. I've had wonderful publishers, and I've had ones that didn't work out, but I will say being my own publisher taught me even more the value of relationships and making sure that you can maintain your integrity throughout everything in this business. I think that's something that, and in your life, you know what I mean? It's something that's really important to me. And so I haven't, knock on wood, let the music business tempt me to let go of that. I've really held on to that. And so all that to say, I was my own publisher, got the Grammy nomination, wrote music for a bunch of movies, which I'd never done before. I got started writing the finale for a Dolly Parton Christmas movie, and that kicked off my career as a songwriter for film, which I didn't know I was. I didn't know how to do it or anything, but I got the opportunities, and all of a sudden, it was like, oh, you do know how to do that. I got to fall into it, and so I did that. Got songs in a bunch of movies. I got to be in a movie with Burt Reynolds that I wrote all the music for. I got to be in a documentary with Garth Brooks and Jason Isbell and Emmylou Harris, and to fight for songwriters' rights. I do a lot of advocacy. And I really, obviously being an independent songwriter, I really know the ups and downs of what's happening to us in terms of, with our government and the rates and all the things that impact our communities. So I got really involved in that, and I still am to this day. Big advocate for songwriters and our protection and our rights, and to not be taken advantage of. And so doing that, and then in these last few years, I started releasing my own records too, while I'm writing songs for everyone else.
This one?
There's one of them. Yeah, yes. That was my debut. Yeah, my debut EP. Had to wait a lot of tables to pay for that thing, but it was worth it. And and my Grammy-nominated song is on that record called The Blade. Ashley Monroe and Miranda Lambert recorded it, and I did too. That's it. Yeah. And so released my own music, got ready to go on tour full time, and then 2020 happened. But the blessing of the last few years, I will say, as an independent songwriter, I had Ingrid Andress record a song of mine for her debut album. I had Kesha record a song that I wrote for her record. She also added Sturgill Simpson and Brian Wilson from the Beach Boys to that song. So in the last few years, I've had cuts by honestly like legendary people who I just, who've changed my life. And it's like encouraged me so much to keep going and to just not give up as an independent. And it's just, I feel like I've been able to prove to myself that that if you really invest yourself in your craft and your songs, that the songs will go open the door. You don't necessarily, it's helpful, but you don't necessarily have to have a publisher or a plugger or an investor or any of those things, because if I really believe that even if you did have all those pieces in place, the songs have to be extraordinary to go open the doors. And so I'm just striving in a community full of extraordinary songs to try and get one in there every so often. But I just, that's kind of been it in a nutshell. And then in 2020, Kelly Clarkson recorded a song that I co-wrote and with Jake Hoot, who sings it with her, the winner of The Voice. And that happened to me last year. And it, it was kind of a bright spot in a hard time, and so that kind of brings us to today. I've been working with just some of my country music idols and writing songs for their records. So Rebecca Lynn Howard is a dear friend of mine, one of the best voices that country music will ever know. And she's coming out with a new album, and she has a song on that record called I Am My Mother that she and I wrote with Rachel Thibodeau, another incredible songwriter, all females. So we wrote I Am My Mother with me, Rebecca Lynn Howard, Rachel Thibodeau, and Carolyn Dawn Johnson, another friend of mine. So worked with Rebecca for that. Ty Herndon is another amazing voice in country music. I've written, 5 songs, I think, for his new record with him. And just, writing and being really happy and getting on tour again, and getting ready with my own music. So I've just packed everything in, and regardless of the obstacles, and there have been many, and we all face them in different ways, no matter what career you're in. But especially lately, I've just been up against a lot, and if anything, it's just inspired me to leave the creative faucets even more open and let everything kind of flow through me and let the magic happen. So.
And the magic does happen. Oh my gosh. I love that. Thank you for sharing your story. You also, one recent album that I listened to and I was like, I love this song so much. Who wrote it? Oh, Jamie wrote it. Was Maddie Diaz.
Oh, Maddie. Okay. Just a shameless plug for Maddie. She's releasing another EP with reimagined versions of our songs on it. And so that's coming out really soon. The first, she re-released Resentment, which is a song I wrote with her and Rabel. And she's getting ready to re-release another version of her song called New Personal Place on her new EP. So you guys got to go get it.
With your new album, are you actually recording now, or are you mostly in the writing stage?
I'm still in the writing stage.
Okay.
We're demoing the songs just to get, to hear how they sound, but we haven't gone to seriously into the studio to be okay, this is the final thing. So I'm still writing the rest of the songs, and I just am kind of so excited about what I'm writing. I kind of want to get them all out and then be able to assess, because we can release all of them, but just for this project, assess what belongs together and what's making me the most excited right now.
Your second album is New Girl.
Yes.
And so these things are available online. Website? Is there a store on your website?
Yeah, officialJamieFloyd.com. There's a store. You can also, Sarah, any of the songs I've ever written, you can order. I'll do handwritten lyrics for you and personalize them. And so people seem to like that, because I can, I'll do any song I've ever written for you. So it's all on the website.
I love that. Are you on Bandcamp?
I'm not on Bandcamp.
Oh, it's Bandcamp Friday today, which means all the fees go, they waive their fees. So the artist gets to collect all the dollars.
I love that. I love it. That's part of our thing. Got to get on all of those websites for the new release.
They're always coming up with new websites too. It's so much to keep track of. Every time I release an album, I'm like, why isn't there a kit that just tells me here's all the things you need to do, and here's the 50 new things they've invented since the last time you did since your last dance. Yeah. You also, in this crazy time, got married, so I'm going to say congratulations on that. Yes, and it looked like in the most magical place in the universe.
It'll be our year anniversary on March 13th coming up, and we got married on a mountaintop in the middle of in North Carolina.
No big deal.
In the clouds, the actual clouds. That's how high up we were. So it was really sweet.
I love that. You're also writing a Broadway musical.
Yeah, that's part of the story I didn't mention. There's a lot of balls in the air, but in 2018 I was approached to an agent who works for me out in California was like, there's this Broadway producer who wants to find one woman who could write all the music by herself for a new musical. And I told her you're going to do it. I was like, I have no experience in theater. Of course, I'm a storyteller by trade. That's what I do, writing songs. But I just was a little intimidated, of course, because the people in that industry are ridiculously talented and experienced. And I just kind of jumped in, and here we are, in 2022. I've written 25 songs by myself, for 25 moments of music by myself for this musical. And we've got a lot of exciting things going on around it, and it's getting a lot of buzz going on in New York. And so hopefully everything will reopen and everyone will be welcome back into the theater soon, so that we can share this music and share everything we've been working so hard on. The musical is called The King's Wife. And it's if you like Tudor drama and Tudor history, it's about Henry VIII, Anne Boleyn, and Catherine of Aragon, and how that love triangle, we put a spin on it to where Catherine and Anne are best friends instead of.
Ooh.
So yeah. And my playwright, her name's Melissa Annis, and she's so amazing. And we're just like this little team, and she's guided me through all of this. She's super experienced and really an amazing, figure in the theater world. So I'm so excited to hear what we've come up with, and for The King's Wife. So
have you been able to go to New York a bit to work on it too? You have New York. You have New York in your heart. Like there's family there, right?
Yeah, all my family's from New York, from Long Island, and the city. Mm-hmm. But I got to go. We just kind of hung out in apartments there, like Melissa and I, just like working together, because we hadn't been able to work together. Hang on 1 second. The little dog,
puppy.
The dog is destroying a pillow.
Mom's not looking. Let me do something destructive.
Gosh, what were we saying? Oh, I was in New York, getting just working on it, because we hadn't been able to work in person for 2 years. Yeah. So I finally got to see, and meet my director. I got to actually be in person with everybody again. And so just fingers crossed, we have a big thing happening coming up later this spring. And so fingers crossed that everything, is still going well, and that we can all be together and work on some more, getting it ready. So
I love that. Oh gosh, Jamie, you're amazing. I'm wondering if you will sing us another song.
Yeah, definitely. Let me. Okay, just getting my tuning ready. So this is the song that closes the first act of The King's Wife, and it is Anne Boleyn singing to her best friend Catherine after Catherine loses her final child, which she was trying to have a boy, provide an heir. Everything is going just lots of chaos in their lives, and so this is a best friend singing to a best friend to keep going, and it's called I Know You. I wish that I could take all your pain away. I don't know this cruel heartache, but I know you're stronger than all the saddest days that keep coming your way. I don't know what to say. Oh, but if I could, I would change this so your heart could be weightless. I don't know your hurt like you do, but I know you, and all that I can see is that you are evergreen. You will live to live your dreams. I just know it, 'cause you've got
got something they can't touch, so much more than enough. I know what you're made of, what you're made of. Oh, and if I could, I would change this so your heart could be weightless. I don't know your hurt like you do, but I know you. Oh, and if I could, I would change this so your heart could be weightless. I don't know your hurt like you do, but I know you. I know you. So that's I Know You from The King's Wife. Thank you.
Gosh, it was beautiful. And I just, it's one of those songs that also feels like it can live on its own, right? Like that would mean what an extension of love to like anybody that you care about that's going through something,
Yeah, I definitely had a friend of mine in mind when I wrote that, and it felt super personal. But I think any relationship between best friends or people who are really close, I'm hoping that people can kind of see themselves in that song, and yeah. So thank you for saying that.
Yeah. I'm wondering, this is the time where I ask you to spin us out. Tell us something new to listen to. What's getting your ears all hot?
Okay. I have to say, this is probably like you're not gonna be surprised, but my friend Rabel, who I'm playing that show with coming up, he has a brand new album out called These Words Are All For You. And I especially love well, actually, you'll appreciate this. There's a duet on that record with him and Maddie Diaz called It's Us, and I am obsessed with it.
Wonderful. I will listen. I will link to that so that people can go and listen.
The whole record's amazing. I keep texting him and Maddie being like, hello, it's just your friendly, obsessed friend.
Just your friendly obsessed friend. No big deal. No big deal at all. I'm wondering if you could, quick before we have to say goodbye, give everybody an action item. Action item. What is one thing they can do?
What I would love so much is, as an independent artist, just in terms of getting more shows and like getting awareness out there and everything, it's so helpful to have an Instagram fan base that's engaged and just helping me, because honestly, the fans are that's my team, And so if you were moved today or would like to hear more about the Broadway musical or follow along for anything, the one central place to do that is to follow me on Instagram. And it's my name. So it's Jamie Floyd, Floyd like Pink Floyd, Jamie Floyd. And that's it on Instagram. I would so appreciate that. And I would love to hear from you guys and have you, come along for the ride for the new music and everything else.
I will link to that below. And I feel like you're doing some touring coming up, and I always hope that it brings you to the Midwest, but
I think it's going to. I definitely think it's going to here very soon. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. I need to thank you, Jamie Floyd, for being here, for sharing your heart and your stories as you do so generously through your songs with the world all the time. But specifically, I got to have a private show today, which is, I feel pretty excited about that. I want to thank all the people who watch. Thank you for being here. We'll be back next Friday. I need to thank my Patreon community. These people make it possible for me to make things like recordings and TV shows in my bathroom. And, I'm so grateful to those humans. So I always need to give them a big shout out. Can I sing that theme song at you one more time?
Let's do it.
All right. Hey, I I miss you. And I hope you're doing well. I miss you and hearing your music IRL. So I am thinking that you sing me a song or two while I just sit here in my bathroom saying, hey, Jamie Floyd, I miss you. I miss you. And I hope you're doing well. I miss you and hearing your music IRL. So I am thinking that you sing me a song or two while I just sit here in my bathroom saying, hey, I miss you.